In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a marketplace in Selldone. Well, this is the store I built here. The first step is to make sure the license of this store is enterprise. Well, now I'm checking if my store has an enterprise license or not. The next step is to choose a business model for the store. Normally, it is on the normal store model. However, you can have other different business models inside Selldone. A store built with Shopify, WooCommerce, and other e-commerce platforms have the normal store model. But I'm gonna build a marketplace now, so I select this one here. Whichever of these models you choose, you can see what the business structure will look like. In the marketplace model, when a customer registers an order, the order is sent to the marketplace, and its system automatically converts this order into one or more fulfillments and sends it to the vendors. These vendors are also called sub-stores or sub-shops in Selldone. When they fulfill the order, they send it to the customer. For example, if I register an order in this marketplace and I'm supposed to buy products from more than one vendor, naturally more than one fulfillment will be created in the system. So there is one main fulfillment that is for the marketplace, and it is divided between several vendors, which I will show you how later. In Selldone, you can build different models of marketplace. For example, when the vendors fulfill the orders, they may send the order and package to the marketplace, and the marketplace will confirm and send it to the customers. Or the marketplace owner can have access to the vendor's inventory, and marketplace itself sends the products to the customers. These types are all included in Selldone's marketplace business model. Well, when I activate the marketplace mode, this tab is added here at the top. This is where you set up your marketplace. Now I enter the settings section, and you see different settings related to the marketplace here. If I want to give access to my vendors to add products and categories, I can change the related settings here in the vendor access section. Now I allow them to add products and categories. The first step is for adding vendors. Adding a vendor is very simple. So I enter this part. You are the only one who adds the vendors, not anyone else. First enter a name, then write a description here that is public. Also, you can assign a user for your vendor. If you want your vendor to have the ability to change the products, receive orders in the panel, or do other things, you need to enter the user here. Note that the user needs to be already registered in Selldone. You can enter the user's email here. After that, the vendor panel and access will be activated, and you can specify whether the vendor has access to its dedicated panel or not. Well, if I don't specify a user, this part will be deactivated. You can define only one vendor for each user, meaning that you can't assign two vendors to one user in Selldone. Of course, a vendor can also have no user. Well, here you can enter the rest of the vendors' information. Well, I have added 3 vendors. After adding each vendor, you can open their profile and upload a photo as a logo for that vendor. Now this marketplace has 3 vendors. One of the vendors is pending. When I invite someone as a vendor, that person needs to approve my request. For that, an email with a confirmation link will be sent to them. The next step is fulfillment. Their orders registered for the marketplace are displayed here. Well, it supports several models in Selldone, including physical, virtual, file, and service. These are not based on the type of products, but on the fulfillment process. It means that all the orders you receive in WooCommerce or Shopify are put in the physical category. Virtual, files, and services have different fulfillment process. Well, 95% of the marketplaces are in the physical tab. The next tab is wallet. Wallets are virtual money for vendors that the system creates automatically. When an order is registered, for example, based on the dollar currency, a virtual wallet is created for the vendor who's supposed to fulfill that order. This is for when you don't have the wallet. If you have one, well, good for you. The payment tab gives a record of the payments made to the vendor. It is mostly used to keep a history of the payments you had. For example, if I pay another $50 for this vendor, you will see that it is recorded here. And the wallet is $50 charged, which is all shown virtually. The next step is pricing, where you can define a pricing strategy. Of course, you can set prices for your products without this strategy, but defining one will make your work a lot easier. For example, here I define 10% commission for digital products and 50% for FMCG products. Well, so far the initial steps of setting up a marketplace are done. Now let's see how to define a vendor for your product. Well, when your business model is marketplace, the previous inventory will be useless. So you should add a vendor for each product. For example, for this product, a vendor tab has been added, and now I'm going to choose a vendor to assign to this product here. Now I want to explain some points about pricing. Suppose I added this vendor for this product. A product can have one or more vendors. I will show you the product page later so you can see what it looks like. Here we have pricing marketplace where you can easily define a pricing strategy, or here you can manually set the prices that are displayed in the marketplace. For example, I want this product to be shown to the customer for $200. Vendor price is the amount that you're supposed to pay to the vendor for this product. The vendor can give a discount on the product so that it will reduce the amount of money they get. They can also add to amount of commission, which is the fee they give to the marketplace. This is very useful, especially when you have defined a pricing strategy. For example, here I change the amount from 20 to 50. You see that the prices change automatically. For example, here the price that you have to pay to the vendor I mean vendor payment, is automatically changed. The amount that the marketplace takes as a commission is here, and also the customer price. Note that the commission is mostly a competitive issue between the vendors, which is provided as an incentive for the marketplaces. You can see that the inventory here. In the preparation time section, you can determine how long it will take for this product to be prepared and fulfilled by the vendor. Well, now this product has 2 vendors. Let's go to the product page and see how it looks like. Well, this is the product page. So far, it is similar to the normal stores. But the point is, a section named vendor has been added. Unlike Amazon, where a product can have 10 pages, which confuses the customer, you can specify several vendors for each product in Selldone. This means that the product does not change for each vendor. And finally, the vendors can compete with each other on the price, time, and reputation. Well, here you can see that I, as a customer, can choose which vendor to buy from. For example, I'm going to buy this product from this vendor and add it to my shopping cart. Now I'm doing the payment process. Well, this is the order that I registered in this marketplace. Now I enter the main panel of the marketplace. In the order tab of the product, you can see the orders registered for this product, like what I just did. And you can also enter the order tab in the entire store and see all the orders. Well, here is the payment information. This is the list of the products, and this is where it connects to the order process center section of the marketplace orders. If the buyer chooses more than one item and these items are supposed to be supplied by more than one vendor, here you'll see more of these cards. For example, this vendor provides this product and this one provides other products in the basket. As the owner of this marketplace, I can manually change the fulfillment status of this vendor. We have a main fulfillment for all the orders which the marketplace is supposed to update. For example, you can specify if all these vendors have the products in their inventory or have all of them packed and prepared for the customers. A marketplace like Amazon is responsible for monitoring and checking the order. These are not the things that can be left to the vendors. In fact, the vendor only performs some sub-fulfillment steps. I will show you what a vendor's panel looks like and how it works. So as a result, fulfillment is broken into several parts for vendors. Well, I got the order here. Let's go to the vendors panel and see what happens. Well, when I enter my dashboard as a vendor, I can accept or reject invitations in the vendor tab. You can also do another thing that I will explain to you. Next to the list of the vendors, there is a link for each of them. If you click on them, you can enter it and see what the vendors panel looks like for a vendor. You can also copy the link and send it to the vendor so that the person can see his panel using the link. Well, suppose I'm a vendor in my panel. I can see my wallet, the order I sent, the order that is pending, and also a list of orders related to me, but not the whole orders of the marketplace. When I click on it, I can see the items that I need to prepare. Here I can write the packaging information, which is also shown in the marketplace. So I'm supposed to send the package to this address. As you can see, I have done the fulfillment process, which is shorter than what you see in the marketplace. This is the timeline of what I do as a vendor. Now let's see what happened to the order I have here. This is it. Well, you see that the status has not changed. Since it is the final status, the marketplace or its employees are supposed to change it. But the status of the fulfillment that is related to the order has been updated. You can even see the information entered for the package here. This is because if you want to send all the products to the customer at a time and have a fulfillment center, this information will come in handy. You can see that it is in this stage now. Well, as a marketplace owner, I can go through the fulfillment steps and update its status to show the customer at what stage his order is. An important part of this marketplace is the feature of adding products and managing them by the vendor himself. I enter the vendors panel now. Well, you see that there are two tabs here. One of them is inventory, which shows a list of products related to the vendor. And the other one is the product. I'm in the product tab right now. There is a page similar to the product management page of the marketplace, but it only shows the categories and products that only belong to me as a vendor. The rest of the products belong to the marketplace and are managed by the owner. Well, as an example here, these are the categories for the marketplace. You can see this category that I made myself with an R letter next to it. Here you can add products manually or import the products as an Excel file. For example, I want to add some products within an Excel file with several variants. This product has been added now and the system processes and puts it in the store. Inside this category, there are the products I added. Now I'm uploading my logo so that it can be assigned to this category. Well, the image is updated now. In this category, you can see that there is my logo next to the product to show that this product belongs to me, and it is also easy to recognize for managing. Well, I'm going back to the main product management page of the marketplace. I open this category added by the vendor, and I enter the products page. As you can see, the system automatically entered the information about the vendor and added the relationship between the product and the vendor. Well, if I wanted to add vendors for each product, I would have to enter this information for each variant. Because, for example, there might be a vendor for the red color and another one for the blue color. So when the product is added by the vendor, as a marketplace owner, I'm not the one who defined the relationship between the product and the vendor. So this option is disabled. It would be active if I added products as a marketplace owner and wanted to add several vendors for each product. The product will be shown in my store like this. Here it shows the vendor and I can add it to my cart. Now I'm going to complete the purchase process. The point here is that the vendor can enter the information of the products he has added to his panel. Because these products are not shared with other vendors, the vendor has more access to the product information. For example, he can see the report and statistical information of the product on its page, change the inventory, enter the product information, and write an article or a review for it. So in general, the owner of this product in my marketplace is this vendor who can change his information as he wants. Well, so far we have learned the complete setup of a marketplace in Selldone that can have products inside and the vendors can take orders, complete fulfillment, make payments, and keep the history of them. There are more advanced options to explore in the marketplace of Selldone, which I will show you in the next videos. Finally, at these places, you can ask and find answers to your questions. Subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos.